Item number 9, public comment on items not on this agenda. It is the council's policy to refer matters raised in this forum to staff for investigation and/or action where appropriate. The Brown Act prohibits the council from discussing or acting upon any matter not agendized pursuant to state law. Would anyone like to address the council under public comment?
Robert Rico, 7th Avenue. I'd just like to know when the City Council may be giving us an update on the great separation, when the city is going to be taking over total, I guess, ownership or whatever, and the latest on our arch that is not there. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
My name is Hani Kele. I live on Trenton Drive in the Chrismore area. I am one of the residents who received the letter last week regarding the concrete ramp. I came down to the city hall and I asked the assistant city clerk to put the item, I presented her with a written request to put the item on the agenda for the next city council meeting. And she told me that no need to do that. We don't do that anymore, which is not true because I have asked the city council in the past to put certain items on the agenda, and they did. And she said you can come to the public, to the council meeting and address the issue in a public comments segment. Today, we received a phone call and also letters from the Public Works Department telling us that the item will not be discussed in the city council meeting, and it was deferred. The notice was deferred till further notice. We would like to know, this letter has created a lot of anxiety for many of the residents in the Crestmore Park area, and some of them are senior citizens. And we would like to know from the City Council if truly there's going to be a time and a place, and it's going to be announced properly to all the people that are affected by this decision at some time in the near future, so we can put this issue to rest. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. The city manager would like to make a brief comment on this. Connie?
I'm happy to do that now, or you
Well,
want to take additional public comment, and we could do it at the end?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Let's hear some more. Tell us your name and your street.
Gary Delatoni, Trenton Drive. Same thing with the cement issue. Just tell the city engineer to do his homework, because we've done ours, and all the reasons that he stated in his letter are non-factual. He has no idea what's going on up there. So I hope he has a better presentation than his letter. And also, you had mentioned, Mr. Mayor, about fire safety with 4th of July coming up. You could pass on along a message to the city department that cleaned up the access road behind Trenton, between Trenton and San Bruno Avenue. Thank you for taking all the debris and leaving it in a pile amongst your eucalyptus trees with the rest of the debris. So hopefully 4th of July, a bottle rocket won't hit it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Hellot, Claremont Drive. I received a notice from the city engineer. He does not like my modification to my driveway approach. I don't see where it is an interference with free use to the enjoyment of the street. It's not blocking anything. I have a photograph here if anybody would like to see it. It does not interfere with the intended use of the street whatsoever. It also does not prevent free access to the property fronting thereof. So I don't understand what the problem is here. Also, with just a quick reference, I've gone through the Crestmore area, especially Trenton, and I've counted over 26 of these approaches installed either recently or numerous years ago. And also to look at the safety aspects of it, I don't know if you've been in my neighborhood, but if you want to walk up Claremont and walk down Plymouth, walk down Glenview, walk up Glenview, look at what you guys have done to the sidewalks and that to make it where it's almost impossible to walk without tripping or falling. My driveway approach has no obstructions whatsoever or any inconvenience to anyone. And you are also supposedly removing the streets, the sidewalks, and everything else that's supposed to be completed soon, I hope, since we've been dealing with this for several years. So I don't see where there's an issue with it.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else?
Ryan Mersney of Keynes Avenue. I have a letter I'd like to read to you. It regards the Crossing Hotel, and it's from Paletti Readily team. My name is John Paletti, and I work for Paletti Realty in South San Francisco. I want to start off by saying I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the meeting, but I have my wedding this week, and we are getting our last-minute items taken care of. When I was contacted about the sale of the Crossing hotel space, I was surprised it wasn't mentioned more. Almost every agent I spoke to didn't know it was even on the market. I have talked to a few developers, and they said that they would love to buy that space from anywhere from $100 to $125 a square foot, if not more. I think the city is greatly underselling the space. At their current deal, they are trying to close. I would highly suggest the city put the space on the open market and developers compete for the space so the citizens of San Bruno can get the most for the land they're selling. Thank you for your time, and he gives his contact information. The point is your May 26, 2015 City Council Agenda Item Staff Report greatly undervalues the land. You're giving the land away for $1, and you have an offer for $8 million on it. That means your total subsidy package is well over $10 million, or over around $250 per person in San Bruno. In reality, we could make the money immediately, not wait 10 years for the TOT tax to kick in, or 15. Your numbers are wildly wrong, and I have the evidence now. I'd like to give this letter to the Carol Bonner to enter. And I also have copies for everyone on the council, the city attorney, and the city manager. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guy Wright, San Bruno Avenue, Trenton Avenue in San Bruno. When I received the letter from your chief engineer, I was very, very surprised by allegations contained in it. I could not find factuality behind it. As a result, in discussing that with several neighbors, I forwarded communication to the engineer, to your chief counsel, and to the council, and hope that you will have your engineer address all the questions I propose on the basic information provided by him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marty Medina, Garden Avenue. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Council, staff, and guests. During the last two council meetings, I've had a few questions about the hotel and how the city council voted to give about $4 million to a billion-dollar developer. I would be in favor of a hotel, but if it did not include public funds. I was approached by Mr. Mersney after questioning this giveaway, and he has sent a letter to the city manager with many questions. Please answer these questions in a public format and help the community understand why it was necessary to give $4 million away. Most importantly, as stated earlier, the property is worth way more than $1.4 million, and how you have determined that it's only worth 1.4 is a great question. Perhaps if it's worth 8, you could sell it and make 6, and take that $6 million and do what the community really wants. Which brings up on June 29th, here in the Senior Center at 6:30, the San Bruno Community Foundation will be presenting their survey results from 3 community meetings on how to spend $70 million. I am sure we will see a renovated swimming pool, a library, support for schools, an improved downtown, a new community center, upgraded ball fields, parks, and a new internet fiber before we see anything about a hotel. In the remaining time I have left here, I would like to announce my candidacy for the San Bruno City Council for 2015. I believe our community has it right, and I look forward to the survey and see what the community really needs. I will work relentlessly to see that they get it rather than a hotel. For more information about my campaign, please visit medinaforsanbruno2015.com. You can call me at 650-741-1055 or email me at sambruno truth@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, Connie, you had a couple of comments?
Thank you. I just wanted to address the issue regarding the letter that went to residents throughout the city, not uniquely on Trenton Drive, but as one of the speakers indicated, there are a number of these particular installations at the edge of the driveway where the driveway meets the public right-of-way. The staff has received late last week at a point in time past the preparation of the agenda for preparation and dissemination to the City Council, the request that an item be brought forward to the City Council. Yesterday, in recognition of the residents' interest in having an opportunity to discuss this item further, the staff has disseminated a letter that identifies the intent to establish a time and a place for a public meeting at which this item could be discussed in more detail, including both the issues that prompted the original outreach as well as alternatives that might be considered in order to address the issues that the residents are raising. So I wanted the City Council and the public to know that we've heard and understood the interests and the concerns, and that they will be receiving notice of a meeting at which this topic can be discussed in more detail and alternatives can be evaluated.